welcome to today's maths class, and today we'll do data handling. Numerical data. We live in a world of figure. Consider the following statement. India's road network aggregate to about 3.3 million kilometers. The number of trains every day is around 11,000 in India. National parks cover an area about 38,000 kilometers square in India. India has about 75 lakhs students in its universities and colleges. About 39 crore votes were casted in the Lok Sabha election 2004 in India. The National Capital Territory Delhi has the population of about 1 crore 37 lakh. We can continue to give figures like those stated above. Data. Data is collection of numerical fact regarding a particular type of information is called data. As such, the above 6 statements represent data. Have you ever thought how such data are collected, summarized and finally presented so that reader can easily understand them? Numerical data can be collected in many ways. The data collected can be summarized and presented by mean of table, chart and graphs. Because data क्या होते हैं, बहुत large होते हैं. So first we arrange the data to understand it properly. अगर data को हम ऐसे ही रखेंगे, raw data होगा तो it will be difficult to understand it. So first हम उसको table, chart या graph की form में arrange करते हैं to understand it well. Clear? Next, collection of organization of data. We collected and analyzed data to answer questions as well as solve problems. Consider the following example. Suppose your class teacher wants to know on which day his student would enjoy to go out on the picnic. To collect the information, he gave each student a survey form containing the name of days. Each student is to select only one favorite day. When after receiving the survey form, the counting is done, he organized the collected data in the form of table as shown below. So here favorite days are given and number of students. Sunday 12 student का favorite था, Monday 7, Tuesday 6, Wednesday 8, Thursday 9, Friday 10, Saturday 8. Clear? He presents the information found in the table using the diagram. He interprets the information and draw the following conclusion. The most popular day among his students is Sunday because 12 students like Sunday. More than half of the class prefer either Sunday, Thursday or Friday. Tuesday is the least popular day. The above examples show the very simple way of collecting or organizing data. In practice, data can be collected in many ways, depending on the amount of data available and the purpose of survey. You have read in class 7 the following ways of collecting data. Collection of data using the questionnaire, collection of data through observation, collection of data through interviews. In this chapter, we shall focus on grouping and presentation of data in such a way that a reader can easily understand. Next, presentation of data. Study the following illustrative alternatively. Illustration 1. Suppose there are 30 employees in a factory. They were asked how many members each of them had in his family. The information given by them listed below. Total 30 employees थे. They were asked how many members in each family. Each of them had in family. कितने कितने members हैं. ठीक है. The information को इस तरीके से arrange किया. Each entry in the above list is called the observation. The collection of these observation is called the raw or ungrouped data. ये जो है, जो भी information थी, that is arranged like this, and this information is called raw or ungrouped data. The above data cannot be put to any use immediately and directly, because by looking at this data we cannot tell how many members are there. So first we have to arrange them. Clear? The above data cannot be put to any use immediately and directly. That is why it is called raw data. Moreover, it is very difficult to interpret this data. It has to be present suitably to serve a purpose. If we arrange the data in ascending or descending order or size, we get arrayed data. When we arrange the data in ascending or descending order, it is called arrayed data. The above data can be present in the ascending order as given below. Here we arrange the data in ascending order from lower to higher. The presentation of data in the above form seems to be purposeful. It is give interior and the following information. The number of the member of the family varies from 2 to 11. Smallest size of the family is 2. Largest size of family is 11. Smallest कितना है 2 and largest is 11. Maximum families have 4 members. Only one family has 11 members. The number of time the particular observation occur is called frequency. Means कितने time हुआ है, that is called frequency. The frequency of 4 in the above data is 7, while frequency of 11 is only 1. Means 4 7 times आया है. That means उसकी frequency कितनी हो गई 7 and 11 is only one time there, so its frequency is 1. The table showing the frequency of various observation is called the frequency distribution table or simple frequency table. Next is frequency table. After the number of family members have been arranged the order of magnitude, we go through the list of number of family members and keep a tally as shown in the table below. The number of time each number of family member appear is called the frequency. The table which gives the frequency of each number of family member is called frequency table. So, this is a frequency table, number of family member, tally and frequency. Number of family member 2, how many times? 1 time. तो frequency 1 हो जाएगी. 3 times 3. 4, 5 plus 2, 7 times, तो frequency 7. 5, 4 times, तो यहाँ पे लिखेंगे 4. Like this, we have make a frequency table. Total 30 members. Clear? Illustration 2. Suppose the principal of school has a plan, the sports budget. To make the better decision, he want to know the relative popularity of the sports played in the school. He asked the sports teacher to conduct a survey by giving each student a copy of questionnaire shown below. Questionnaire on relative popularity of sports played by the at the school. Means कौन सा जो है popular sports है, तो उसको जानने के लिए they have make a copy of questionnaire and ask different question on that and take a survey. Which is your favorite sport? Check the box next to the sports you like most. Choose only one sport. So different sports are given and student have to pick their favorite sport. Only one favorite sport. The sports teacher record the result of survey on table shown below. So here favorite sports are given, tally and number of students. So badminton, 136 students like badminton most. Basketball, 180 like the basketball most. Hockey, 84 students. Soccer, 212. Table tennis, 108. Total 720 students. So here tally marks hai and number of student. He does this in organized manner by using the method of tallying. A tally is put on the corresponding space in the table, matching and check the box of questionnaire. Tallies are ground of 5. ये किसको represent कर रहा है? That is representing number 5. 4 standing line and 1 slanting line. Clear? With the fifth tally crossing the first 4 for counting convenience. 4 हमने straight line बनाई है, 1 slanting line that is crossing it. It represents number 5. From the above table, can you tell the relative popularity of the various sports in the school? You might have difficulty understanding the interpreting information displayed on the table. You will probably be able to mark better comparison of data if you present the information in the diagram as shown in the following section. Next is pictogram or pictographs. The sports teacher can draw different diagrams to display the result of the survey so as to give the clear picture of the relative popularity of the various sports. One such diagram is a pictogram shown in the following figure. The pictogram uses picture to represent statistics, popularity of sports played at school. So, different sports are given here: बैडमिंटन, बास्केटबॉल, हॉकी, सॉकर, टेबल टेनिस. बैडमिंटन को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं 1 2 3 4 5 6. सो 6 है. ईच जो होगा वो किसी एक नंबर को रिप्रेजेंट करेगा. बास्केटबॉल के लिए पिक्चर है, हॉकी फॉर सॉकर एंड दिस फॉर टेबल टेनिस. Each figure in the above picture represent 25 students. Each picture, like if soccer is there, so each football is representing 25 students. So according to the number of students, we'll draw the football. एक represent करेगी 25 को. So there are how many students are there? According to that, we'll draw the picture. And the fraction of the picture means half करेगी 25 का half means the corresponding fraction of 25. It should be noted that is not a very accurate method of showing the exact number of students. It merely gives us a quick comparison of the relative popularity of sports played in school. Next is bar graph. The sports teacher may also represent the information in the bar graph as shown in the figure. In the bar graph, the vertical axis at the side shown the number of students in accordance to the different category of their favorite sports, with these category being labeled along the horizontal axis. A bar is constructed representing each category with the length of the bar proportional to the number of the student in that category. The bar should be the same width. Note that there is a space between each category in the horizontal axis to distinguish clearly between the categories. One can see the glance that soccer is the most popular sports as it has the largest bar. You can easily tell which are the second, third and fourth most popular sports. Hockey obviously is the least popular sports. So here bar graph is given. This is vertical axis and this is horizontal axis. Vertical axis पे दिया number of student and horizontal axis is showing the sports. So by the bar of the given sports, you can easily tell which is the most popular sports. So here soccer or football is the most popular sports. Example लेते हैं. A company owns 5 electrical shops. The bar graph given below show the number of television sets sold in the 5 shops in November and December in the certain year. So this is a bar graph. Company owns 5 electric shop. The bar graph किसको कर रहा है? अलग अलग शॉप पे नंबर ऑफ टेलीविजन सेट सोल्ड इन द मंथ ऑफ नवंबर एंड दिसंबर. सो ऑन द वर्टिकल एक्सिस नंबर ऑफ टेलीविजन सेट्स एंड हियर शॉप्स आर गिवन. शॉप नंबर 1 2 3 4 एंड 5. नवंबर का दिसंबर, नवंबर दिसंबर लाइक दिस. क्लियर? सो दिस इज शोइंग नवंबर एंड इट इज फॉर दिसंबर. Study the above graph and answer the following question. Find the total number of television sets sold in the 5 shop in November and December. So first हो जाएगा the total number of television sets sold in the 5 shop in November equals to 60 plus 30 plus 50 plus 70 plus 40, that is 250. If we talk about number of television sets sold in December, that is equals to 90 plus 50 plus 80 plus 110 plus 80, that is 410. Next, express the total number of television sets sold in December as the percentage of total number of television sets sold in November and December. So percentage क्या हो जाएगा? Percentage of the total number of television sets sold in December, that is equals to 410 upon 250 plus 10. November और December का total multiply by 100%, that is 62%. Third is, which shop enjoy the greatest increase in the sale of television sets? So shop number 4 enjoy the greatest increase in sale. Express the increase as the percentage of the number of television sets sold in November. So percentage increase in sales हो जाएगा 110 minus 70 upon 70 into 100, that is 57.10, 10% approximate. Next is solve the puzzle. These days we usually use software programs on the computer to help us construct bar graph, pie chart, etc. With the help of computer software, you can draw bar graph, pie chart and tables to arrange the data. Next is pie chart. If the principal of the school want to know what fraction of the school choose to participate sports, then the diagram given below, a pie chart, would be useful for him. The pie chart represents relative quantities by areas of the sector of the circle. The following pie chart display clearly the fraction of the school choosing the particular type of sports. Figure is constructed by dividing the circle into different sectors, each sector corresponding to the percentage of the category of the student who like the particular sports. The angle of each sector is proportionate to the number of sector represent. The angle of each sector can be found easily. For example, if 212 out of 720 students prefer soccer, then the angle of the sector of soccer is 212 upon 720 of 360. That is equals to 212 upon 720 multiplied by 360, that is 106 degree. The following table show the percentage of each category of student and the angle of the sector of each category. फेवरेट स्पोर्ट सॉकर, नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट है 212, परसेंटेज क्या हो जाएगा 212 अपॉन 720, दैट इज टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट मल्टीप्लाई बाय 100, दैट इज 29.4%. एंगल ऑफ सेक्टर क्या हो जाएगा 212 अपॉन 720 मल्टीप्लाई बाय 360, दैट इज अ कंप्लीट एंगल, दैट इज 106 डिग्री. इफ यू टॉक अबाउट टेबल टेनिस, नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट आर 108, सो परसेंटेज हो जाएगा 108 अपॉन 720 into 100, दैट इज 15%. एंगल ऑफ सेक्टर हो जाएगा 108 अपॉन 720 इंटू 360 डिग्री, दैट इज 54 डिग्री. क्लियर? सेम वे यू कैन फाइंड all percentage and angle for badminton, basketball and hockey, because number of students are given and you know what is the total number of students. Although pie chart are particularly useful where the proportion of the whole are more important than the actual numerical value, they have some disadvantage. For instance, it is difficult to interpret a pie chart representing data which involve too many categories. In construction pie chart, long calculation are often needed and actual measurement of angles using protractor are necessary to produce an accurate diagram. Example लेते हैं, the bar graph illustrate the result of the survey conducted to find the number of people in each car in the random survey of 120 car. First, calculate the angle of pie chart of the sector which represent car with 2 people. Solution क्या हो जाएगा, number of car with 2 people, that is equals to 25. For bar graph you can see that number is 25. So angle of sector क्या हो जाएगा 25 upon 120 into 360 degree, that is 75 degree. Next is calculate the total number of people in these 120 car. तो क्या हो जाएगा, total number of people in these 120 car equals to 1 into 20 plus 2 into 25 plus 3 into 20 plus 4 into 30 plus 5 into 25, that is 375. Clear? Third is calculate the percentage of car with 4 or more people. So number of car 4 or more people, that is equals to 30 and plus 25. ये हो जाएगा 30 plus 25. 4 से ज़्यादा 4 और 4 से ज़्यादा ये हो जाएगा. So percentage क्या हो जाएगा 55 upon 120 into 100, that is 45.8%. Clear? So we can find out it easily. Next is learning target 16.1. Critical thinking. The following bar graph illustrate the result of survey carried out in the shop of certain housing state. So number of worker employed in each shop दे रखा है. You have to calculate total number of worker. Total नंबर ऑफ वर्कर हो जाएंगे, फर्स्ट में ये 1 इंटू 4 दैट इज 4 प्लस 2 इंटू 6 दैट इज 12 प्लस 3 इंटू 5 दैट इज 15 प्लस 4 इंटू 3 दैट इज 12 प्लस 5 इंटू 10, सो टोटल हो जाएंगे 53. क्लियर? सो ये आ जाएंगे टोटल. नेक्स्ट द परसेंटेज ऑफ शॉप हैविंग 3 और मोर वर्कर. सो आप देखेंगे कि 3 और उससे ज़्यादा कितने में है, उसको करके उनका परसेंटेज फाइंड आउट कर लेंगे. क्लियर? नेक्स्ट इज प्रोबेबिलिटी. Introduction. Common meaning of probability. The word probability is often used in our day-to-day conversation through people have only rough idea about its meaning. For example, we come across statement like the following in our everyday life. Probably it may rain today. He may probably join politics. Indian cricket team may probably win the World Cup and probably he is right. All these statements convey that event is not certain true. It may happen or take place because we are not sure about the event. Maybe it can happen or not. Thus, the layman's view, the word probability means there is uncertainty about what is going to happen. The concept of probability originated early in 18th century in the games of chances such as throwing a dice, tossing a coin, drawing a card from the pack of cards, etc. Today, probability has found the application in science and engineering. In this chapter, we shall study the concept of probability as the measure of uncertainty. Our study then will be confined to the random or probabilistic experiment only, such as tossing a coin, rolling an unbiased dice, and drawing a card from the well-shuffled pack of cards. Next, definition of various terms. Elementary event. An outcome of random experiment is known as elementary event. For example, consider a random experiment of tossing a coin. The possible outcome of this experiment are head or tail. Means either it can be head or it can be tail. Here event 1 is getting head H on the upper face of the coin and event 2 is getting tail on the upper face of coin. Thus, event 1 and 2 are elementary event associated with the experiment of tossing the coin. Next is compound event. An event A associated to the random experiment is said to occur if any one of the elementary event associated to the event A is an outcome. For example, in a single throw of dice, the event getting an odd number is the compound event. At is obtained by combining 3 elementary events. Either it could be 1, 3 or 5. Similarly, getting an even number is compound event in the single throw of dice. Even number है तो it could be 2, 4 or 6. So it's a compound event. Next, occurrence of an event. An event A associated to the random experiment is said to occur if any one of the elementary event associated to the event A is an outcome. For example, consider a random experiment of throwing an unbiased dice. Let A denote the event getting an odd number. Elementary event associated to the event are 1, 3, 5. Now suppose that in an experiment the outcome is 5. Then we say that the event A has occurred. If another experiment lay outcome be 2. 2 is a even number. Then we say that the event A is not occurred because odd number नहीं आया तो हम कहेंगे event A is not occurred. Next, favorable elementary events. An elementary event is said to be the favorable to the compound event A if it satisfies the definition of the compound event A. In another word, an elementary event E is favorable to the compound event A if we say that the event A occurred E is an outcome of trial. For example, consider a random experiment of throwing a pair of dice and the compound event A defined by getting 8 as the sum. We observe that the event A occur if we get any one of the following elementary event as an outcome: 2 or 6, then 8, 6 or 2, 3 or 5, 5 and 3, 4 and 4. So, there are 5 elementary events favorable to the event A. Next, negation of an event. Corresponding to every event and associated to the random experiment, we define the event not A, which occur when and only A does not occur. The event not A is called the negation of event A and denoted by this. Clearly, event A occur if and only if A does not occur. Probability. If there are n elementary event associated to a random experiment and m of them are favorable to an event A, then the probability of happening or occurrence of event A denoted by P ब्रैकेट में A आएगा. It is defined as the ratio m upon n. Thus probability क्या हो जाएगी A की? m upon n. Remember, O is less than or equal to m. M is less than n. Therefore, 0 is less than or equal to m upon n, and that is less than or equal to 1. This sign, that is stand for equal or less than. Clear? So, 0 less than or equal to P or probability of A and less than and equal to 1. Let's take an example. An unbiased dice is thrown. What is the probability of getting an even number? So solution क्या हो जाएगा? In a single throw of dice, we can get any one of the 6 number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on 6 faces. Hence the total number of elementary event total कितने हो गए? Total 6 है. Random experiment thrown dice is 6. Even number कितने हैं? 2, 4 and 6, 3 है. Let A denoted even getting an even number. Clearly, event A occur if we obtain any one of 2, 4 or 6 as an outcome. So कितनी हो गए? 3 हो गए. So therefore the favorable number for elementary event equals to 3. So probability क्या हो जाएगी? 3 upon 6, that is 1 by 2. So probability of getting even number is 1 by 2. Some more examples are given here. Practice them. Here some more examples are given. Practice them all. Next is learning target 16.2. Critical thinking. An unbiased dice is thrown. What is the probability of getting an even number and a multiple of 3? So even number की probability हो जाएगी, probability of even number, that is even number होंगे 2, 4 and 6 and total है 6, 3 upon 6, 1 by 2. If we talk about multiple of 3, total outcome है 6, उसमें से multiple of 3 क्या हो जाएंगे? 3 and 6, so 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3. Clear? So practice all the questions. Here we end the chapter. I hope you understand the chapter well. Now you have to practice it.